All right. So video 2, maximum capacity pricing book. So we are on the equipment tab right here. So this is your setup piece. I went through the design piece in the video 1. So go ahead and look at that if you need to refresh yourself. But on equipment tab, you're going to find you're going to first identify your most reliable furnace that you're going to sell, your most reliable sear that you're going to sell for air conditioner, all right? And then plug in your 1.5 ton system, your 2 ton system, your 2.5 ton system cost, your 3 ton system cost, your 3.5 ton system cost, your 4 ton system cost, and your 5 ton system cost. Now this is just the system cost itself. So the furnace cost and the condenser cost. Condenser and A coil. Include your A coil with your condenser and A coil. Okay, with your condenser. All right. So from here, just read the directions. Input your equipment cost. The equipment tonnage is the only factor you need to worry about here. Remember, we're only picking out the most reliable piece of equipment that we install. That's all I want you to do. Okay. And then from the setup tab, you need to put in your net margin, your commission, okay, your maximum commission. So if you give 2% if you give up to 11%, put in 11%. If yours is 8%, put in 8%. Whatever it is. Sorry for chewing in your ear, but I'm nibbling on something. And then put in your break even. All right. So I'll put in your break even number. These are just made up numbers right now, guys. So 25 and 11. I usually see 20. I see 25 and 8. I see 25 and 10. I see 25 and 12 for commissions. That's based off of different people's commission structures. So 27.71 is a break even that I picked out. The cost that you pay for your financing. So if you have a 5% fee that you pay for your financing, plug that in here. Or a 4% or a 3% or a 2%, whatever that is. This is not designed for that 10-year program, where you got 0% fee, but they basically charge the customer 18% points on the deal, where that's not the game we're playing here. So your financing program, and then let's say it's an 84 months one. If it's 60 months, put in 60 months. If it's whatever, how many months it is. So these are you should be able to get this financing factor from your bank. They should be able to give you a financing factor for that. Okay. If they don't, call them up and say, what's my financing factor? All right. Material cost. So for AC, what is all the material cost? Not your equipment, but your material. So I made up some things here that may be part of your material: line set, filter, dryer, whatever, electric kit, a pad, gravel, whatever you got to put in there, flush kit if you got to flush it out, permit if you need to put your permit in here, put your permit in here. Okay, and then just enter that in right here. You give you 6 slots, I believe, to put all that stuff in there. And then furnace material, for your venting material, your electric kit possibly, plenum material, condensate pump if you use that, filter racks, returns, permit again if you need that. What I want you to do is in your permits, I want you to split your permit out. So if you're doing a system, your permits are split out, because if you're just doing the AC, you still may need a permit. Some of you guys might not even need a permit for this. All right. So make sure you just include all your material in here. Gave you 6 lines to come up with it. You'll just have to probably break it down like I showed you here to do that. Okay. And then over here, you need to come up with what your cost for a 10-year parts warranty is going to be. Okay. So whether that's you have to buy it from the manufacturer, or whether you're going to self-fund it yourself, you have to come up with what is your 10-year not a dime warranty. So basically that's all labor included for 10 years. What's that going to be? Is that $100 a year? What is that number? I'm just putting numbers in here. I'd ask around and you guys figure out your actuaries for how many issues you may have in 10 years, and you may want to figure in some labor cost in that, right? An air scrubber, if you know what an air scrubber is, I have no idea, so I made up a price for an air scrubber. Pristine air, don't know what that is either. So what is the cost for a pristine air? Touchscreen thermostat, have no idea, made up a number. So basically it's these areas here. I put in the cost of the areas here because this is what is in a 5-star elite. This is what's in just a 5-star. Okay, so you'll notice that a pristine air is not in a 5-star, and the dual humidity coil is not in a 5-star. So let's just verify that. The pristine air is not in it, and the dual humidity control is not in it. Okay, so plug in your cost factors based off of the star rating. Okay, and then your warranty reserve based off of how many warranties it is. You know, if it's a 10-year warranty, I put a 0.1 here. If it's a 5-year warranty, I put a 0.2 as a factor because I got it built into the. You don't have to deal with this. This is already figured in for you. Okay, so don't even mess with this. As a matter of fact, I got it protected so you can't. All right, and from there, that's your equipment cost. Okay, now I want to jump into this area right down here. Because this area is the reason is what causes the $10,000 differential from a 2-star comfort system to a 5-star comfort system. Besides this cost here being more than this cost here, so I got $3,900 in cost here, where here I have basically $250 in cost. Okay, if I were to highlight that, it says it right here. I got $250 in cost. I got $3,900 in cost. All right. So part of that $10,000 is the cost of this, and you're putting a margin on it. All right. So your selling price of that is going to be 25 and 11% on that, plus your 5% dealer cost involved in that. Okay. So because that's part of the whole thing, so that's going to make up a good $5,000 or so, maybe $5,200 and so on that. So what I did here to spread out the rest of the differential for your break-even for your 2-star system, you're just going to use a full day. So that's already plugged in here. Okay. So this is just a formula. It equals this break-even, and that's what this break-even is right here. That's what this is automatically. So it automatically populates that. So I just ramped this up 25%. I added 25% of a day for a 3-star. I added 50% of a day for a 4-star. I added 75% of a day for a 5-star and 100% of a day for a 5-star elite. So that's how I was able to bring out the additional spread of making it a $10,000 differential here. Okay, so understand that when you're selling this, you basically have 2 sold days in it. Now, I'm not saying this should take two days to do. I'm saying you have 2 sold days in this. So it should take 1 day to do this system. Okay, it should take 1 day to do this system. Now, granted, this system should take you less time, but it's still going to take a day. You just have additional IAQ stuff here, but let's look at the IAQ stuff or the additional stuff. Most of it's agreements. Stuff you're actually doing is this right here. You're putting a humidifier or a thermostat on anyway, on all of them. Or this, I guess that's this screen right here. Okay. You're basically adding this, and this. Okay, so you're adding 4 other things. So, yeah, it may be a little longer day, but that's all right. You got 2 days figured into the thing. All right. The other reason why I did that is we need to understand what break even is. So break even is the most important number in this business. And if we don't know what our break even is, it's tough to discount. How much can you discount from that, right? So what we've done here, because this has 2 days in it, okay, we're able to take 25% off of this, and that takes all the profit out. Plus, it has a break-even day. So this one here is going to equal if you're looking for break even, you go sales minus, oops, can I put a minus sign in there? Won't allow me, will it? Hey, dog butt. Okay, so I'll just do it this way. Minus 25%. If I'm looking for 25%. Okay. And then I'm also going to minus 1 day break even. Okay. So I'll take the sales price, minus 25%, which is going to take all the profit off of the equipment and everything, and then it's also going to take a break-even sold day out of the equation, because you've took the 25% off of the sold day that you had in there as well. Well, you're taking the 25% off. So that's how you get to break even on this if you need to. And I'm not saying you need to, but even if you break even is the most important number. So that's why I want to make sure that we have a math formula to get to break even on this. All right. And then I'm just going to copy this over here, copy, and I'm going to paste it. I guess I'm going to have to paste it right here, aren't I? Paste it right here. So it's over here. This is going to be 3/4 of a day break even. All right. And I'll copy this and I'll put it right here. And this is going to be a half a day break even. And copy this, place it here, and it's going to be a 1/4 day break even. And this one here is just going to be sales price minus 25% because it has the full day in it already. So that is your break even. That's your formula for break even on any one of these pieces of equipment here. Okay, whether it's a 1.5 ton or a 5 ton. It's important that we understand break even. That's why I went to the extent of putting this in here so that we could get to a quick math formula to find out what break even was. So theoretically, not theoretically, in reality, the 5-star elites have 2 sold days in them. The 5-star comfort system has a day and 3/4 in them. The 4-star comfort system has a day and a half in them. And the 3-star comfort has a day and a 1/4. And this has a full day. So if it's going to take 1 full day to sell any of this, you should never lose a sale because you can always do this one for 1 sold day. You're going to earn 2 sold days for this, but it's still going to take a day to do. So I've set you up to overachieve your sold day goal if you're selling a bunch of 5-star elite comfort systems. Okay. My bet is, and what I've seen from members that are doing this, they're basically selling a lot of these, okay? Or they may be selling some of this, and then we pull forward, yeah, but I really want that pristine air. Okay, well, if you allow me to do that tomorrow, I'll give you the pristine air. Well, I've already got a 1/4 of a day in here. Can I give away the pristine air? Yeah, I can. And even if they were balking at this, could I give the pristine air in? Yes, I could. Because I got 25% net margin, so I don't make 25%. I make whatever a pristine air cost me to put in. Because I still got the same amount of labor. I got 1 day into this thing. So I don't want you to get too wrapped around the axle on all this stuff. This is designed to sell the system, to sell the day by wowing the fact of, geez, I got to pay 20 grand to do all this, or I could pay 10 to do all this. This now sounds cheap, right? So that's been what I've seen and talked to the folks that are doing this process. Most of them are selling this, but I'll tell you what, they are selling this as well. Okay, so not a bad way to go. And you have a solid math to back it up. And if you have any questions on that, please give me a call. Be happy to walk anybody through this process. So I don't want you to get too crazily thinking this is voodoo or crazy math. It's very simple. Fill in your stuff, fill in your cost. You got to know what this is to price your jobs anyway. So price your jobs out, okay? And to go from a 5-star elite to a 5-star comfort system, understand that you've got an extra day, extra 3/4 day, extra half day, extra quarter day, and just 1 day in this one. Okay? So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm at 16 minutes. Thank you. Any questions, call me.